I want to say that Dr. Bob is just one of the most fabulous and fun people that I've had the privilege of meeting at Temple Emanuel or anywhere on the planet. And I feel so blessed and lucky to have him as a member of our congregation and to have him as such an active part of helping us create our vision and implement our visions here at Temple Emanuel.
This would be a better world in which would all be living, a better country, a better community, if we would emulate the good qualities that Bob Rubenstein represents. Be like Bob.
This lifetime of philanthropy really is what he's done. It has really been a lifetime. His mom, because she was a great Jewish mom, had a scrapbook that she kept for him. And there was a picture there of him when he was 10 as a Cub Scout, and he was with the governor of the state of New Mexico, having won an award for collecting papers during the war drive. He had collected the most papers and won an award from the governor.
I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and lived there until I finished high school. I went to college in USC in Los Angeles, and I was only there 3 years until I was accepted to medical school.
Bob has 2 children, Amy, who's here with us today, and David, who passed away following heart surgery a couple of years ago. Bob wanted to honor his memory through young people and through education, which has always been very important to him. A scholarship was established in Bob's son's David's name, a Jewish Family Service, and that scholarship has helped many students through the years.
Bob has been involved here for over 15 years as a donor, but more important than his involvement as a donor is really he's an incredible supporter. So every year at our Gala, he and Maria are our sponsors. They're active in what we do. They sort of they vote with their feet, almost like the Dr. Bob seal of approval, that when they're involved, it signals for others to get involved. As important as their actual financial contribution is really just having their hands, their heart, and their wisdom shape our programs. He's just a mensch. He's just a nice guy. I don't know how else to describe him. You just know that he's giving with his head, but more importantly, he's giving with his heart. Be a mensch. Be like Bob.
Congratulations, Bob. Be like Bob.
I was at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, and I was on the staff of the Department of Ophthalmology, and I stayed there a few years in an academic position after I finished my residency in ophthalmology. Came to San Diego, and they were just starting the medical school. So I was an assistant professor here for 7 years.
Be like Bob. Be like Bob.
As Bob's eye care business grew and he came into more resources, he then started to devote more of his time and talent and treasury to the community.
He has been involved in SALC and the Big Brothers, one of the original founders of Big Brothers in San Diego, and with Stand With Us for the students that are on campus, and very active with Hillel.
Bob has been a supporter of Hillel for 30 years. He made his first gift to Hillel in 1986. When we were starting to build the Melvin Garb Hillel Center at San Diego State, Bob took a keen interest in that, committed a very significant gift, and when it came time to deciding what he and Marie wanted to name as part of a dedication, it was really beautiful. Selected a garden that is named in memory of his son David. Be kind and humble. Be like Bob.
Support the Jewish community. Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Not only are we honoring Bob, but in our community, Ron Cohn of the Cohn family is being honored by the Leukemia Society for his philanthropy and generosity with that organization.
Bob, we're so sorry we're going to miss that big event. And we're kind of brothers and men of the year this year, and you know, you're great friends of Dad, and that makes you great friends of us and of this family. And Marie, we love you too.
Be like Bob.
He was one of the first who donated real estate to the Jewish Community Foundation. In fact, we created a charitable real estate fund on the basis of Bob's desire to give real estate.
We're very interested and supportive of Friends of the Israel Defense Forces.
Be like Bob!
He and Marie are very generous donors to Federation, but they're generous supporters of many, many different programs in the community, not just at Federation and Jewish Family Service, at the synagogue, at many other places. And it's because they have big hearts. They care a lot about what's going on, and they do what they can to make sure that it's as successful as it can be. He's stepping up to a new leadership role at Federation coming this summer. The ways in which I want people to be like Bob are their seriousness about their work, their understanding of what their resources are, and really how they can focus them and bring them to bear on the issues at hand. So people should be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
I was in the college area at Alvarado Medical Center. Temple Emanuel had started just 3 years or so before that. Sally Cohn wouldn't have let me go anyplace else. Rabbi Cohn was a very humorous, nice guy and very broad-minded, and actually it was almost a friendly relationship. It wasn't so much even a religious one.
I was the assistant rabbi at that point in time and the educator along with Rabbi Cohn. Bob at that time was president of Emanuel. Bob walked a tightrope trying to make the transition from Rabbi Cohn to me taking over as senior rabbi. We found the location where we currently are. There was an old American Baptist church. Bob was a shrewd negotiator, and he was able to finalize the deal to get the church. The summer after we moved into the church facility over here on Capri, through his leadership, we wound up gaining almost 100 families. Bob has that real sense of commitment to making things really right and doing tzedakah, not doing it because he gets kudos for doing it, but because it's the right thing to do.
When he became involved in the temple, he wanted to make sure that things went well with the contractor. He wanted to make sure when he was president of the board that it was an organized, well-run, well-functioning board. He wanted to make sure that the acquisitions that were involved were done in the appropriate manner with the appropriate budget and to benefit the temple for longevity. And that's the way he does things, and I admire that.
He is concerned about every human being who crosses his path and how he can work with them to make the world a better place.
Like, I want everyone to be like Bob in his kindness and his generosity and his hard work and his caring, in his philanthropy, in his love of the temple, but do not climb over the fence. Don't be like Bob with the fence.
I am grateful that people have come here tonight and to support our temple. Thank you.
Dr. Bob was not thrilled about the idea of allowing us to honor him for the gala because he is a humble and a gracious man. But he was inspired to do it on the condition that part of tonight be to express the message that it is time to actively think about cultivating our next generation of founders and philanthropists and donors.
Be like Bob. Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Tonight is our opportunity to express gratitude to Dr. Bob and to Marie for everything that they have contributed, and to take up the mantle and the torch and to be willing to demonstrate through our generosity tonight that we have the ability and the willingness to lead in his example. I ask everyone here tonight, be like Bob. Give in a way that is joyful, that is generous, and that is filled with love and exuberant enthusiasm for our great future.